is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Just for Kicks. Broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Now, your hosts, Judy Trammell, Haley Anderson, and Kelli Finglass.
Well, hello. It is post-Oscar time, and we are going to talk it up like a big old tacky slumber party. I'm Kelli. Of course, we have Judy Trammell and Haley Anderson, and Kristi Scales is with us today as our sidekick on Just for Kicks. How are y'all?
We're good. How are you?
Great. I'm good. I have a kind of Oscar hangover in terms of just the awards itself. Did you guys like the show?
I thought it was great.
I loved it. I thought there was a lot going on.
Yeah, great production value. I loved all the international flair to it, not just because of the best Oscar winners, but the way that they incorporated it. It was very diverse, let's put it that way.
It was.
Mm-hmm. I thought so too, but there's already critics saying it wasn't diverse enough, so you never can win. Yeah. I thought maybe we could talk about some of the awards, see how we scored on our predictions, and also talk about best dressed, worst dressed.
Can we talk about worst dressed first? Because Kelli, you can't do it with that safety pin hanging off your necklace. I'm not sure what you're going for.
Oh,
but
wait, where is it? Okay.
Kelli can make a necklace work long or short. I know what you were about to do with that.
This is my necklace adjuster because this neckline wasn't working, and this is a trick my grandma Polly taught me. Look, I just safety pin in the back, and if you had hair like you, Judy, you would cover the safety pin. But look, now Kendra Scott since now has adjustable necklaces, but before that,
look, okay.
So you are ready for the red carpet.
Now I'm ready.
Now you're ready.
Y'all totally stripped me down on anything wardrobe. So on that note, how about we talk about best dressed? Haley, I know you had some favorites. I've got a worst dressed. My personal favorite on best dressed was Brie Larson. I thought her dress was
I thought she looked awesome
gorgeous.
last night.
It was pretty. I loved the rose gold and the cape and all of it. I thought it was just beautiful. And her hair.
She was flawless. Just flawless.
There it is.
I wonder, does anybody know who the designer was?
No, I don't.
But
she looks great.
She looked
and it was great how she came out with Gal Gadot and with Sigourney Weaver with the female superhero kind of theme.
Yeah.
I thought that was really neat.
I did
because
too.
Sigourney Weaver is the original, kick butt female character, as Ripley, of course, from Alien.
Also, my second favorite best was Regina King. I thought she really kind of let us have it. She looked great physically, and her dress looked beautiful. She also was kind of a rose gold, wasn't it? Or was it more?
It was pink.
It was more of a pinkish, and she actually is one of my favorites. She is a huge Cowboys fan, and we've met in the past, and she's just for her generation, I think she's a dominant person, and she's just going up from here.
Where did you meet her in person?
She actually came in for the Super Bowl in Dallas.
Oh, wow.
And so
Our AC
she was
Super Bowl.
So she was one of our guests in the suite for the Super Bowl, and ever since then she's always reached out, and we've been kind of close, and she's down to earth, and she's one of those powerhouses that I can't wait to see her move forward.
Good for her.
Can I make a suggestion for the remainder of this show, or maybe just henceforth with everything with Just for Kicks? Whenever a celebrity pops up that Haley knows personally, you have to ding in.
Ding it in.
Yeah, you have to ding in and say, oh, yeah,
That's
they
a
were
good
at the
idea.
such and such. Because, when Bradley Cooper pops up on everything.
I'd love to ding that bell, but I can't say I can.
Ding, ding, ding.
But anyway, Haley knows a lot of the folks that we're going to be discussing, so you got to.
And that's why she's our road warrior, because she does get to go on the road and see all these fabulous things. So, yes, that's a great idea.
Yeah, or if I've interviewed him on the sideline with Jerry for a Cowboy game, then I'll ding in. So because Eminem has been on the Cowboys sideline before.
That was awesome.
I thought so too. I was like, is that Eminem? Is that Eminem? I know it's Eminem. It's got to be Eminem, but he looked
different with the
a
dark
little heavier in a good way, bearded, just kind of different. And then you saw his pants and you knew, it's Eminem.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was a shocker. I didn't expect it to come, and it was a great kind of just
surprise.
like break in between all the performers.
Yes. Speaking of performers, since we might as well just roll with this, who was your favorite musical performer?
Can we have ties?
Sure.
Okay, because I loved having the Frozen Into the Unknown with all of the Elsas from around the
cool
world.
was that?
That was
awesome.
so cool.
I love that.
I love Idina Menzel.
I do, too.
And normally, don't mess with Idina, just let her sing. But I thought that was really classy the way they did it. And we talked about inclusivity and having an international flair. I thought that was great. But for the best voice, boy, Cynthia Erivo, wow.
She was amazing, and I have her down as one of my best dressed.
Yes.
Because her
Best dressed.
warm shoulder white dress was gorgeous. And she actually was up. This was going to be her last award to get the Epcot. Or
The EGOT.
the EGOT. So she was up to get one of her last for the EGOT. Unfortunately, she didn't make it, but I thought she did awesome in her performance as well as she was up for Harriet. So I thought she was great.
Did too.
She was dramatic, very compelling.
Yes. Yeah, and she's
But I agree
been
with you. I
she's
liked
been on
Idina's
Broadway
performance.
and Color Purple among others,
Right.
and so she's very, very accomplished on the stage. And now with her nomination for lead actress in Harriet, I mean, her star's like really burning brightly now. But it's the first time I've heard her sing in that kind of setting.
I know,
and
isn't it amazing?
It was. She just has a crystalline voice. It was beautiful.
How about, did Elton John just kind of make you tap your feet and smile?
Yes.
Okay. I loved the psychedelic. I always said that song actually was the one I picked, and it won. Yay. But it's kind of happy, and it's kind of Partridge Family sounding to me. I don't know. Maybe it just brings me back to a happy place, but I thought it was fun to see him.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And the production value on that was great, too, like with all the colors and all
Very
that kind
colorful.
of stuff.
Yep.
And at that point, when the show was going so long and starting to lag, I think that punch of energy was very helpful, at least as just watching on TV, you can imagine as an audience member and there in the theater, that probably really helped liven things up.
It was great.
Did we finish on can I talk worst dressed, or did we finish our
We
best
probably
dressed?
all agree.
We all agree on.
And they were one of my favorite presenters. Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph. They're two of my favorites.
you.
Saturday Night Live, favorite. What? I don't even. My question is what?
I don't know
Why?
what woman wants to make her hips look bigger.
I agree with you.
I was more worried about the
Distracting.
side boob on the Kristen Wiig. That was.
But it looks like she looks like she had an upside down arrowhead. That might have had a purpose at the Chiefs game if you were pulling out your
I
red.
wish you hadn't said
To me, it looks
that.
like an arrowhead.
didn't think of it that
and
way.
then Maya looks like sequined lasagna or something. And I love them, and I know they can take a joke. Was their speech not really funny? It was
awesome.
Can we have them host next year?
I would love it.
Or
They're-
they're
have
awesome
them host
together.
anything.
They're always great together.
Yeah.
They are two of my favorites, and they are in harmony. When they were delivering those lines about directors, I loved it. And with the intensity in that room, I thought they were just spot on with their presentation. But I don't know about their stylist. Was that everybody's worst dressed?
I had Kristen Wiig as my worst.
I had them as my worst dress. And you kind of go back and you're thinking, when they're wanting to pick it out, are you thinking more of, oh, they're going to talk to me, I should wear this? Or if they actually thought it'd look okay on them?
Oh, I'm sure they practice. They know those are standing. I guarantee everybody there knows this is a standing dress, or it's a seated dress, or it's an above the shoulders interview. I'm sure there was a lot of strategy in there. I just don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Now I have to, and I still Hilder, the composer. She was my favorite Oscar kind of surprise for me because and Haley, you remember this when we walked out of the Joker. I loved that score and the story that we heard about the scene where he was starting to improv dance in the bathroom scene.
Yes.
In the Joker. They'd said that she had composed this song and then delivered it on set, and usually you don't get the music at that point in the film. The music's added after, but she delivered that music to the set, and they played it, and that's when he started doing his improv scene in the bathroom, Joaquin Phoenix. It's my favorite scene. I loved the score, and when she came up there to accept it, I was like, wow, she's really pretty. I expected a score to look like, kind of crazy
like
hair.
Mozart hair?
Yeah, it looked like Mozart. And she walked up there and she was just beautiful. And so her award thrilled me. And then I listened to her interview and her speech, she was so humble. Did you guys notice that? Anyway, to score a movie, to compose a movie, I think is brilliance. And I was real excited about her.
Yeah, and just at the end, she talked. I think at the end of her speech is when she talked about, mothers, daughters, sisters, aunts. When you have that voice inside you, and we need to hear you. Like you said, it was the perfect ending for the perfect speech for sure.
Are we ready to talk speeches?
One more presenter. I love James Gordon and
Rebel
Wilson.
And their cat costumes.
Yes.
Now, who
I thought that was hysterical.
Who has seen Cats? Raise your hand if you've seen it.
I still haven't.
I haven't seen it,
It is
but I
so
know
bad.
That's what I was going to say, Kristi. I heard it was bad, so I just thought, no.
I saw it and knowing, let's see, I love the musical Cats, all right? I've seen it like 9 times. I love Cats, but it is love or loathe as a musical. And it certainly was going to be that as a movie, loathe or love it. But some of it, and there were about 4 songs in it and scenes that I enjoyed, but some of it was so laugh out loud bad. And that's why it was so funny when Rebel Wilson and James Corden, and then when they were playing with the microphone and batting the mic like they were cats. That was that is going to be one of those, I think you're right, Judy, about it being the favorite thing. Yeah. When they show highlights years to come of great Oscar moments or funny Oscar moments, that's going to be one of them.
But it rolled into an awkward moment because what did they present? They presented a big award.
What they were doing, special effects, because the hands were
because when the recipient came up on stage and they're giving their formalized thank you speech and they show a shot of the wife in the audience and this is just they're a very epic moment for them.
And Rebel Wilson's walking off in a cat suit.
No, they're not walking off. They're standing there. Go back and look at the footage. They're standing to the side as if they've just presented a trophy, like all the presenters, and they are in those cat costumes. And I was like, oh my gosh, forevermore, these people are going to have cats in their pictures. Epic photo. Did any of y'all? I got tearful on Laura Dern. First of all, I was thrilled she won. But when she said the line, and I wrote it down, some say, you never meet your heroes, but if you're lucky enough to get them as your parents. I thought that was just beautiful.
Yeah, it was. I thought she might go political because sometimes she, and
she made one hint of taking care of our earth. And that's it. Right.
But she's great. I mean, first class all the way. But yeah, that was a great line about her parents. And it's like, man, if I ever win the Academy Award, I'm going to steal that line.
I know.
It was good. It was great.
Now, y'all know I was pulling for Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker for Best Actor. I think he deserved it and he should have gotten it.
Can you tell us what all he said? I liked his ending, but there was some
I can actually tell you, I'm going to read off some of the words because I told y'all if he wins, you don't know where it's going to go. And it obviously went long. There were 2. Yes. I think Joaquin and Renee's speech was extended, shall we say. But let me just read. Help with the reading glasses. Judy, are you sick of having to live life with reading glasses?
Yes, but what do we do?
Here's some words, and I don't. You can scream me or not. Here's Joaquin's speech: injustices, selfish, cruel, gender inequality, racism, queer, indigenous, inseminate a cow. That's where I was like, where is he going with this? Yeah. Natural world, steal a baby, anguish, scoundrel, selfish. And I'm like, just say thank you.
Yeah, I got completely lost. I was like, I can't listen anymore because I don't know where he's going with this.
I didn't know where he was going either. And his Golden Globe speech was much tamer than this. And his SAG and his BAFTA. I mean, he's won everything. But and I thought for sure the orchestra would play him off. And they let him go and go and go and go. But the one line that he said at the very end about his brother, River Phoenix, do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I like that. Run to the rescue with love and peace will follow. But God bless Joaquin. And then, okay, what do y'all have any comments on that?
I kind of felt like it was all over the place and it didn't make a bunch of sense, but it just seemed like he was trying to. There wasn't anything political or wrong about it. It was like he was trying to bring everyone together, but he couldn't word it right. Do you know what I mean?
There wasn't anything political.
He didn't. Well, he didn't like the cows. He didn't like, what word am I looking for? What do they do with animals now? Oh,
well, the husbandry, the slaughter, the husbandry, animal husbandry.
When
basically.
You take their DNA and
gene splicing.
Thank you.
Gene splicing.
Oh, gene splicing. Is that
That's
what we're going
started
today?
with. He said that.
I'd never heard him mention
Cloning the cow and then drinking the milk.
No, he said artificially inseminating the cow.
Well, that too.
And then we got in trouble for having milk in our coffee, which I did not put milk in my coffee this morning because
you were
of
worried
Joaquin.
about where the cow came from.
Oh man! You simply say thank you, but anyway, I love him.
To defend him, he did talk about how he was selfish earlier, and that he was difficult to work with, and he appreciated so many people in that room giving him a second chance. I thought that was great. If he would stuck more with that and less with the pontification of all the other stuff, but because that's what turns people off to some of these so-called Hollywood liberal elite. I don't believe in that, but some people do, and so there's a classic example.
Well, there's a part of me that says leave that outside the doors of the Oscars. Let the Oscars be about entertainment and glitz and glamour and all these things we've come to love.
Sure. Yeah.
Except when I got up this morning, I thought, nope. This is like the Super Bowl now. We're waiting for the Super Bowl commercials. We're waiting for those speeches. You want those speeches. You need those speeches.
And you're never going to have that kind of audience at any other point. Really.
Oh, I'm not saying to make a real good point. I'm just saying for entertainment. I think now, I guess it's becoming part of the entertainment is who's going to say what.
Well, hey, we've talked more about him than any other subject so far, so it obviously worked for him.
Renee, I've seen all of her speeches, Golden Globes and SAG and this. Beautifully written, perhaps rehearsed, and she's from Texas, so shout out to her for Texas. Did her speech seem a little mystical and rehearsed? And if it is, how does she remember all those thoughts, words, and names?
She could remember the whole movie.
I thought it was very well done.
Done.
If it was memorized, I guess so. Do they have a teleprompter? How do they remember?
No, they don't have a teleprompter for
know.
their speeches.
Well, she did
But if you go back and watch her other awards, Golden Globes and SAG, it was kind of that same.
I think she is starry-eyed. I think this is her first award season back, and she's just so excited to be a part of it again. How long ago was it that she won her?
Well, she hadn't been doing anything for at least, I thought she said 6 years.
Yeah.
She did make a comment about Judy Garland that I really like. She's always recognized Judy Garland, but she goes, she said this movie is a reminder that our heroes, in this case Judy Garland, that our heroes unite us. And just all of us sitting around the table, we know that to be so true, whether they're a movie star or an athlete or a fallen athlete, they do unite people. That's my thing. I mean, everybody criticizes Hollywood, and this is what I love about Hollywood. These people, their craft at telling stories teaches us history. It teaches us respect from a different perspective. We learn, the more we watch, the more you learn. Maybe it is helping unite people. I know every year I watch a movie and I'm inspired about a character. This year, Harriet Tubman, you're so inspired about stories that you would not otherwise know. So I love Hollywood for that reason. Now, do they tilt their stories one way or the other? Of course. Everybody probably does. But I'm amazed at their craft. On Parasite, the director, did y'all notice in his 4th, 5th, 6th acceptance speech?
I think there were 6.
Did you notice that he acknowledged, you couldn't understand, I understood Annyeonghaseyo because we've been to Korea so many times, but did you realize that he recognized every director in his speech? And when he said that about Scorsese, how cool was that moment?
It was great. Yeah. It was the moment that everyone needed to see. Because not everyone loved them getting foreign film and
best film, both
best films, but
and best director.
I haven't seen it, so I can't.
Well, now you have to.
Now I have to go see
I know
it
I
and
will.
see what
So we
all
have
the
a
hype
field
is.
trip because we do that. But last time I took Haley to the movie, I traumatized her with the Joker. And I assure you, Haley and Judy, Parasite's got some troubling storylines in it. So it might.
Haley will never go in a basement ever again after seeing this. Luckily, we don't have basements in Dallas, but
It's true.
we talked about it. I predicted that might be a sleeper. Speaking of predictions, how did you guys tally on your scorecard?
I don't know.
Well,
we're the
didn't do
only
my homework.
podcast that every one of us predicted Parasite to win Best Picture. So that
I
made it
predicted
first in the country.
1917.
I did 1917.
yeah, I predicted
Thank you.
1917 on that one.
But
Yeah.
Parasite, it didn't surprise me. I kind of like gasped at first when they called it out because I just thought at that point it was somebody else's time.
You know, what's really interesting about award season in Hollywood is that it's a lot like sports. It has a lot to do with momentum. and who's kind of got the hot hand at the
That's
time.
true.
So just like the NFL, it's kind of like just get into the playoffs. You know, you could be 15-1 in the regular season, but really it's all about who gets in and who's hot while you get in. And it's kind of that way at about the same time of the year in Hollywood in terms of award season. And, you know, like it was back in August, late July, when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out, because it's when the Cowboys were out. We were out there for training camp, and man, that's going to sweep everything, right?
It
and
was
then,
powerful.
And then 1917 got some good mojo going for it, and then Parasite just seems to be the one that catches fire at the right time, and it catches. The main thing is catching fire at the time when all of the
Ballots are being right.
filled out. So
Speaking of ballots, I do have a friend that's in the industry that gets the screeners, but I heard a member of the press. So we, as official podcasters now, we got to figure out how to get the screeners that the Academy gets.
Well, let me text Brad Sham because he's a member of SAG, because he was in the movie. He was in the movie W about George W. Bush, where Josh Brolin. You guys know Josh Brolin, and Josh played President Bush, and so Brad plays a reporter, so he gets to ask a question during one of the press conferences. So anyway, Brad's a member of SAG, and
We used
I
to
want
be a
those
member.
screeners.
yeah.
No,
so
but
so he gets the screeners. So we'll have a movie night next
Kelli,
year.
you'll have to
before.
give your
Yes.
experience.
I'm
of
sorry,
a director.
I'm hearing bells. Is that something telling us to go to break, or is Bradley Cooper calling?
Oh,
I'm hearing bells.
I hope it's
No?
Brad.
Okay.
It's somebody's cell phone, I think.
Oops, hers.
Whose is this?
Is
No,
it
but
Brad?
you got to
Is
tell
it
us your
Brad?
acting debut, Kelly, and how you took the wrong direction. We both did, but
Oh, we're going to have to,
our movie, Dr. T and the Women.
with Robert Altman.
Oh,
Real
wait,
quick.
you guys
Richard
got
Ge-
directed by Robert Altman?
Yes. I've got a
wow,
picture of-
Richard Gere, and
Yes,
that
yes,
was
yes.
it. Were y'all in the scene at North Park Mall?
No,
No, we
Okay.
were in our
dance
studio. Kate Hudson
Okay.
was there, and it was we got set, and Judy and I were walking. The scene was going to be we were going to walk into the studio. Kate Hudson was going to be on her cell phone. She was going to get in trouble for that, and she was in training camp, eligible to be cut. So we were at the back door, and Judy. They said
action.
no. They said rolling, and they.
Rolling.
Didn't they? And then we rolled out. We walked out, and then we hear cut.
From
So,
Robert Altman.
We learned quickly from Mr. Altman that rolling is to roll tape, and then they're going to say action, and then you walk. So the next time it was rolling,
But we tucked our little tails and walked back in.
action, boom, and go. But yeah, we got our first cut from Robert Altman. All right, we got to run. Ballots. How quickly? I got 17 out of 24. I think this was my best year. How'd you guys do?
I got 14.
Ooh, Kristi, you won last year.
I know. I got bit by Best Picture and Best Director, and I knew I should have stuck with Toy Story 4, but I outguessed myself, and I blame myself for not watching the Best Short Animated and the Best Short Live Action. That was just throwing a dart against the wall for that one.
I missed on costume, best picture.
I missed on makeup and hairstyling.
But see,
Because-
And Bombshell.
You'll
I
love
did get
Bombshell.
costume.
I want to go see. I haven't seen Bombshell, but
That
I want to go
you'll
see it.
love.
I'm excited to go see it, but I didn't. With what they were comparing to, I thought it would have been someone else.
I was afraid Bombshell would get overlooked just because it was kind of more traditional, standard go-to-work makeup as opposed to something elaborate, crazy,
Right,
and
and that's what I was looking for.
more prosthetic and this and that. But when you see what a job they did on Charlize Theron looking like Megyn Kelly, I thought it was Megyn Kelly at the opening of the movie. Her contacts, her hair, everything. It was, they were great. They transformed people. They were great. So, did you score? Oh, how'd you do? Ha.
Not the best.
Did I just call her Ha Ha?
You did.
I'm sorry. Haley has two nicknames, Ha Ha and Chaley. We'll answer that later.
I think I got only like 10 out of them, but I
That's-
didn't watch most of them, so I was kind of taking a stab at it based off the trailers before. So
But
I have to go back and watch
what
it.
was your favorite part of the whole thing, though? The whole watching, even though you hadn't seen a lot of the movies, as you were watching the Oscars last night, what did you particularly enjoy?
I like the performances.
Yeah.
I thought the performances were really good. I liked Billie Eilish's tribute I cried.
Her voice
is
velvet.
amazing.
It's haunting, too.
It's velvet.
It just sticks with you.
I was getting some Roberta Flack sound from her. I don't know how to describe her voice.
And that's her brother playing the piano.
And she's only, 19 years old or 20 now? 19 years old?
Yeah, she's young.
She sounds a lot older than that, so beyond her years. But I was surprised. I didn't know she was doing the In Memoriam. I thought she was going to be doing the James Bond
That's what you said.
thing. So I was mildly surprised, not as surprised as when Eminem came out. But but that was great, the way that they were showing some of the great, they showed a great variety of songs that were perfect for the accompanying movies.
Speaking of variety, we got to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to have a variety of questions from our new friends. Judy's collecting questions from our pod pals. They're our friends on social media, and they're going to ask us questions for a podcast. Do you like pod pals?
I love Pod Pals.
Pod pals.
Do y'all not?
Pod pals, love it.
Okay, let's go to break. We'll come back for pod pals.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
It's right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down. Based on GWS 1 score, September 2019.
Back to Just for Kicks.
We're back, and we have a new sidekick in the 4th chair. Welcome, Gina.
Hi, guys. I'm happy to be here.
We're glad to have you here. So, Gina, for those of you that might not know, Gina's in her 3rd year with DCC, originally from San Diego, and a graduate of Cal Poly
San Luis Obispo.
Thank you.
There you go. A mouthful.
Yes.
So Gina had 2 3/4 great years, and then had kind of a turn of the tide when she was injured at a show. So let's pick up. That was November almost. Well, that was November because you were having surgery.
Week of Thanksgiving. So it was a Sunday right before Thanksgiving game. And we were prepping for not only Thanksgiving halftime and just normal game day prep, but also all of our Christmas shows that we have here at the Star. So we were working hard, long practices, long rehearsals, and we had 2 performances on that Sunday. And I got through that first one, and I was feeling good. Everything was fine, and I was out there for that second one, and I was doing Thunder, which I've done a million times, do it the same way every time. And I had jumped on one part really high, given it 120% like usual.
Like you always do.
Like usual, but I jumped a little too high, and I landed a little wrong, and my knee kind of slipped out of place. And right when it happened, I knew something was a little off. Of course, I had the adrenaline pumping in my veins, so I didn't really mind it.
You finished the dance and the kick line.
Yes. So there was not one point in the dance that I thought to myself, I need to walk off. The only thought in my mind was, okay, I'm just going to finish this. I'm going to get through it. And I remember, running around for kicks and stuff. And I was like, guys, I'm not okay. And I had Daphne and Maddie right next to me. And they're like, you're good. You got this. They were mad talking me.
They were mad talking you. Yes.
Even on stage. And I got up and walked off. And I think I was a little shooken up, like right as it happened. But a couple minutes passed and I was like, wait, I think I might be fine. But then I did go to get an MRI in the next couple of days, and they did tell me it was an ACL tear, a full tear of the ligament, which is it's the anterior cruciate ligament in your knee, and it controls the stability of like side-to-side movement, and you can't really be as active as we are as cheerleaders without that in your knee. If I wanted to live a normal life after this and never get it fixed, I would have been fine because I actually was coping really well with the strength of like my hamstring and strengths of my calf and the strengths of my quad. But, if I did want to continue cheering and, live through my passion and stuff, I was going to have to get it fixed. And I did get surgery on the 17th of December, so I did have to sit out those last couple games. But right now I'm working through my recovery and my physical therapy 3 times a week, and my recovery is going so great. I feel like I've learned a lot about just like taking care of yourself and adapting to things that happen to you, because a lot of the things that happen in life you can't control, but you can control how you react to them. So,
amen to that, Gina.
Yeah.
I do remember one thing that was unexpected for all of us, and that was our Thanksgiving Day halftime. And Gina was injured and was out of the show. And I know it was hard. I know it was hard for you. It was hard for us too, and for the team. It just changes things overnight. But as things worked out, we needed someone to play a stand-in for our Thanksgiving halftime, Ellie Goulding, and Gina was Ellie for a whole day for all of the cameras. I think we have a picture of it where she was the star.
That was the biggest treat for me, honestly.
It really was
so much fun to be a part of it, and I think that was maybe like the day or two after I found out.
It was,
and I was so
because we weren't sure about you in Thanksgiving game that you were out until after your MRI, but
right.
This is a perfect. I mean, you're right. It's how you responded to that, and we wound up making a moment something fun and very useful, by the way. For the networks need to practice those different shots. So you did great, and we're glad you're back. How are you feeling now? I mean, what's your on a scale of 1 to 10? If you were dancing in classes or performing tomorrow, are you 100% back, or what do the doctors say?
Not 100% back just yet, but I will be 100% back in early April. I have my back to sport exam, which is a 2-hour workout that I'm going to have to do with the doctor that's overseeing all of my recovery.
Really?
And once I get cleared, I'm cleared to go, and I'll be getting my solo ready for auditions and back to the normal routine of things.
So you're already letting the cat out of the bag that you're going to re-audition?
Oh, yes, most definitely. Most definitely. I will be back for year 4.
Well, that's news. That's good news.
Yes, it's great news.
So maybe this timing will give you, hopefully you're so fully recovered that you can be your strongest, best self at auditions.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely the plan. I've been coming to I will be coming to the Tuesday practices and watching and cheering on all my teammates there. And then on Wednesdays, we also have a little workout that we hold for all the girls. And the girls that teach fitness classes will come in and teach workout to the team.
Our Power Squad.
Yes. And I've been coming to those, and I just modify and do what I can. So I'm just really happy to have been able to stay involved throughout the whole process. Even when I was sitting out during the season, I love that I was able to still help my group and give critiques and be able to video for them and continue to make them feel as though I had their backs and continue to improve throughout the season too.
That's a great example for them, for everybody in the room, because you're right. Your attitude could have kind of tanked a little bit, and it didn't at all. So good for you.
Thank you.
While you're with us, do you want to help us answer some questions from our social media friends? We're starting this new segment called Pod Pals, as in podcast, and our pals on social. So Judy,
I really had them up.
Well, you know what? While you're doing that, Gina, tell us about Miranda's wedding.
Oh my
you were
gosh,
just there.
I know. It was the absolute best weekend. When I think of Miranda, I just think of big hair and big heart. And honestly, that's the best
and
way
a lot
to
of
describe
talk.
her. And a lot of talking. But I have become really close to Miranda over the course of my tenure on the team. And we were actually in Lacey's group together my second year. And she just made that experience so much fun. And I always kind of knew that one day I would probably be her bridesmaids, just like you had said at auditions our very first year. Mm-hmm. These girls on the team will be in your life forever, and you'll share special moments with them as you go on and move even past the team. So super, super special weekend. Of course, we did Thunder at her wedding, which is a tradition that we do at every DCC wedding, and it was so much fun to have our whole team there and celebrate her and Christian. And they've been together since I've known her. Mm-hmm. So, it was just so special to finally, celebrate them and their future together.
Approximately how many cheerleaders do you think were there, current and former, for Miranda's wedding?
Looked like a lot.
30. I would say about 30 to 36, honestly. We had pretty much the whole current team there, and then we had Jen Amber in there as well, who popped in and did a little thunder for us. Oh, yeah.
That video looked fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was such a blast.
Oh, that's great. A lot of people ask us, do the girls really get along behind the scenes, and do they have cat fights and stuff? And y'all know it to be just the opposite when you look at these pictures of a wedding and you see how close everybody is, and it will last. My rookie cheerleader buddy, Tina, was my maid of honor, and we're still great friends today. And then, of course, Victoria's now made the team, but that's not necessarily what maintained our friendship over the years. But so it will. Judy and I both have friends.
And those locker room moments, I noticed last week after rehearsal, and Haley even asked me about, where is so-and-so? And I walked in the locker room. An hour later, they're all in the locker room still talking.
Yeah.
It's like they can't get enough of each other, and
we miss each other on the off-season, too.
And the locker room talk was always the most fun.
Yeah,
laughing.
For sure.
Locker room talk and the long camp days that we have together in the summer.
Our summer
Those
camps.
long summer camp DCC days.
Okay, so speaking of talking, Judy, let's talk to some of our friends on social world.
This question comes from Miranda. I guess.
Not cheerleader Miranda.
No, not cheerleader Miranda.
I was like,
that would surprise me.
She's tapping in from Puerto Rico.
She said, this is more for Kelli and Judy. Okay. What's the biggest difference from cheering when you did it to cheering now? The palms. We carried around.
Difference in cheering in the 80s versus now?
Yeah.
The palms, yes.
were huge.
The volume of performances, especially the show group performances, which also means the volume of practices. We didn't have a TV show. We didn't have an exotic calendar swimsuit shoot. I remember my pictures clearly. They're in front of an apartment pool complex with leaves in the water.
Mine are in front of my house on a car.
Right.
I wish we brought some
leaning
to show.
on a tree.
We'll do a throwback.
Let's do a throwback
episode, maybe on birthdays or something. I don't know. But yeah, we didn't have television. We didn't have camps. We didn't have the show group performances. But what we did have was that girl talk, the girl time, the bonds, the backstage moments, especially on the USO tours. Those backstage moments are where you just kind of expose your day and your challenges, and everybody back then, somebody's having a boyfriend problem, somebody needed a job, somebody's having something going on with their family. Lots of funny stuff, funny things that we can't talk about right now.
We laughed a lot.
What else has changed?
Well, when I cheered, there were not even video cameras. So I have no performances recorded. We didn't even have VHS back then. There wasn't even recording devices on your TV. So my mom would sit in front of a TV with the camera and hope she could get a glimpse and then snap a picture with the light bulb. With the light bulb going.
Yeah, the cubes. No pictures, no selfies.
Yeah, it was a different world.
Totally different world. Wow.
What else?
But it was
a great
fun.
world.
Okay, we can ask you this.
Sure.
Why did you guys try out for the DCC?
Why did we try out for the DCC? Well, I grew up competitively dancing in San Diego, and I knew when I was very little, watching the show that I was someday going to end up in Texas and try out for the DCC. And actually, so funny, recently when I was home in San Diego, I found my 2010 high school yearbook.
Oh.
And in that, I had written, "Where do you see yourself in 10 years?" And I said, "As a cheerleader for the Dallas Cowboys."
Wow. Oh, we have to see that.
So, you know, of course, watching the show, I would stay up on Thursday nights with my little sister, and we would watch it and try to do all the moves and do the kick line and the jump split. And I knew really since then that I always was going to
So people really are trying that at home?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I did.
You should.
Oh, yeah. Practice.
Now you've got, you know what
Start 'em young.
is expected, so you should be practicing all of this before you get here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and talking
of
about
course.
auditions and things coming up, what's our podcast?
Pod Pal?
Pod Pals.
If somebody can, if they want to
I like
submit
Pod
some
Pals.
names, go for it.
What's
Now, are
more
we,
important, overall technique, attitude, or personality in making the team?
who are you asking?
You?
Ooh. Say that again.
Okay. I should put my glasses
Technique,
on, but yours is
personality.
on the screen.
Can't read
There
the
you
screen
go.
either, Haley.
What's
See,
more
this is why, Haley, you're our eyes. Come
What's
on.
more important overall to making the team? Actual technique or attitude and personality?
Oh, I think all of them. I don't care how great your technique is. If you have a bad attitude or personality, then there's not a place for you on the team. So I'd lean that way. But you're not going to get past preliminaries if you don't have the technique to get noticed and be memorable. So all of them for me. But yeah, you know me. I'm a sucker for a great
Oh, for sure.
attitude.
You have to have it all at the end.
Person. How about you, Haley? You've been watching girls try out since you were knee-high to a grasshopper.
I think, honestly, the first round kind of gets you through the whole technique. You need to have the technique to do it, but then also the relationship with the girls. And being around it my whole life and now working for it, it's kind of grown the past 20-something years on how respectable they are. And I think the more respectable they are, the easier it is to work with them.
That's true. Scroll me another question up there. This is easier to see.
Judy likes the
And
monitor.
it's not going to happen.
There we go.
Here we go.
Do you need Haley
this
to
is
read
a good
it, Judy?
one for Haley. No, I can read this.
Okay.
This is a good one for Haley. Who has been your inspiration in life?
What is it going? I think my mom and my grandma.
That's where I
both.
was going.
Mom and grandma, I think being females in the sports world and it all being dominant males, it's been a nice kind of person to look up to as my mom and kind of coming in and turning this whole organization around.
Mm-hmm. My mom taught me to always have your face powdered and your lips on. And
you do.
And she always did too.
You do. And I broke her rules this weekend. I went to a restaurant with my daughter and a daughter's friend, and I couldn't have looked any rougher. My hair was up, my little wiglet was on, and not a stitch of makeup. But I was with my daughter. I was in mom mode, and then we left the restaurant. We were on the way going out to the parking lot, and this lady comes running out. Kelly, can I just hug you? And we just eaten Mexican food. When you leave this particular restaurant, you smell like Mexican food. I'm like, okay. So we hugged, but then we actually started talking for a good time. It was great. It was great to meet them. And anyway, actually, 2 people asked for pictures that day.
That's usually the case.
But then somebody came back and said,
happens.
"Oh, you're
Always
younger
happens.
looking
Always.
in person." So I'm sure makeup ages. Anyway, yes, Judy's always stayed powdered and perfect and pretty.
What's my hashtag?
Fix your hair.
Hashtag fix your hair. Don't go anywhere without your hair fixed either.
Gina, who's your biggest source or sources of inspiration?
I would have to say my mom too. I mean, I don't know if many people know this, but my mom was born in Italy. And she grew up there until she was 8 years old, and then she came to the U.S. and started school. And I remember she always used to tell me when she first started school in the U.S., she was a little behind and really couldn't understand because she didn't speak the language just yet, and things were a little hard for her socially and to really assimilate to the culture. But thinking about my life compared to the life that she lived, I mean, I'm just so blessed that she's sacrificed so much and been my biggest supporter through all of my endeavors, not only dance, but just like academically. And I know that she's always there for me. She's always cheering me on, asking me every day how the rehab's going. And
she came in when you were having your surgeries, right?
Yeah, so she was able to fly in and,
sit with me right before. I was so scared. I've never been hurt before, so that was my first big major surgery, and she just made me feel so at ease and, that I was going to be okay in the end, and she has full confidence that I'm going to be back stronger than ever, so
good.
Couldn't do it without her.
Good. Well, okay. We've got that. Are we good?
One more,
or
then
we
we'll take a break. What prompted, and this is what we're starting to plan out now and what we're really going to start focusing on is our calendar shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And one person asked, what prompted the change to allow rookies on the calendar shoot?
Allow rookies? We haven't taken rookies.
No.
Are they meaning first?
But we always do it at the end of the year, so they're trying out for their veteran season.
Oh.
And
yes.
So we don't take brand new rookies on our calendar shoot.
We are taking on the calendar shoot because of the time of year it happens. And publication, most things are being shot right now. We're kind of late in the game by shooting calendars in May or April for a July or August delivery, which is when most calendars hit the stores for back to school sales. But so it's the ones that have committed to re-auditioning that we take on that shoot.
I just don't think people understand that, but it is. They will be veterans when the issue's printed.
Yeah, at the time of the shoot.
Mm-hmm. That's fun.
So speaking of moms and grandmas, when we come back, we need to hear a little bit of Keeping Up with the Joneses and see where you've been. And then if we have time, we're going to talk a little Valentine's. What do you think you're getting? What are your traditions? What are you giving? Or do you? When we come back to Just for Kicks.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys, and your favorite football team. Get yours today in the Stadium Pro Shop or at Stetson.com.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
It's right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's best network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down. Based on GWS 1 score, September 2019.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
So, you're shopping, and that's when you see it. Aisle 23. Dr. Pepper stacked from top to bottom as far as the eye can see. The phrase too good to be true comes to mind, yet there it is. A rich, delicious Dr. Pepper paradise. Wait, did that can of Dr. Pepper just open itself for you? They all are. As if to say, so nice to treat you. And even though it feels weird to talk to a can, you pick one up and say, it's so nice to be treated. Dr. Pepper, so nice to treat you.
Back to Just for Kicks.
All right, we're back. And we are going to swing into Keeping Up with the Joneses with Haley and find out what she's been doing this week. So, Haley, tell us something exciting.
So I don't have any Super Bowl news, but just last week, my little brother Paxton just signed with the University of Texas.
Ooh,
and
Longhorn.
Breaking tradition.
It is breaking tradition, but for me, I'm excited for him either way. He has worked so hard this past year, and the year before that was out with a collarbone injury. So he's really only had like a really one season to kind of catch back up and get the reps that he needs. And going into it, his first offer was from Arkansas. And I'm like, this is great because I was at Arkansas. His cousin plays at Arkansas. Dad and grandfather and brother all went to Arkansas. So we're like, okay, let's just do Arkansas. Well, a few weeks go on, and Texas reached out. TCU reached out. Who else reached out? Oklahoma State reached out. All these different colleges reached out. SMU as well. So his top three kind of went more SMU, TCU, and Texas. And comes down to the last visit that he had, and he was like, you know what? I kind of want to pave my own path and go to University of Texas.
Wow.
So we have a few pictures and videos. Here's me. I never thought I'd throw up the Longhorn sign or wear burnt orange, but if anyone it is, it's for Paxton.
Aww.
So there was us at signing day last week, and actually his best friend, Chandler Morris, who was his quarterback, just signed at OU.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's sitting beside him, but there's a family at signing day, so that was kind of fun for us to kind of be a part of, and I'm excited to go down to Austin.
Now, what position does he play?
He's wide receiver. Right now he's 6'4", 207.
Ooh.
And the coach had come up to us and was like, by the end of the summer, he could be up to like 220. He was like, just be ready. Like, you're not going to recognize him just because.
Really?
No way.
He starts in May to do all the offseason training. So he's going in.
He's going to go from 2-0 what to 2 what?
They want him around as a tight end wide receiver as like a 220-ish, and he's at 207 right now. So
Can you imagine getting a job and says, hey, will you toss on 13 extra pounds?
Yeah, sure, by tomorrow I can.
I know, I'm like, but anyway, we're excited for him. So that's kind of all I have right now with keeping up with the Joneses.
But that's crazy. I can't see the Razorback Jones family at a Longhorn game, I don't think.
I know.
I will. We
will eventually. And it's funny because my brothers and I went to Arkansas, and then his son was playing at Arkansas, but my 3 cousins went to Texas.
That's true,
So we're completely opposite right now. But I've seen my grandfather in burnt orange, and he'll be ready to sport the burnt orange. And what's funny is Paxton's sophomore year, John Stevens' junior year in 2021, I believe, it's going to be Texas versus Arkansas in Arkansas.
Whoa.
So we're excited in Fayetteville.
That's going to be great.
Your grandfather may have to get 2 jerseys.
He's going to have to split them in half.
Sure, for
real. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad he's.
So yes,
I'm glad he's close to home, but not too far, and we all get to see him and cheer him on. I've never seen your mother in Longhorns.
Oh no,
colors.
Oh, never.
No, I don't think you would see any of us if he would go anywhere else. But only for him, we'll wear burnt orange.
Well, I'll be. It'll be tough for me to wear burnt orange because I still have 2 Aggies in the college ranks. So I don't know if. But look, your folder's orange. That's just kind of crazy. All right, you guys want to talk Valentine's?
Let's talk Valentine's.
Yes. Woohoo!
Well, how do we address this? Judy and I probably are more senior at this table, so our Valentines are probably not quite as exciting as y'all's.
Ours are pretty simple. I mean, my husband always gets me chocolate and a card. We are pretty traditional with that, and then of course I go overboard sometimes with the grandkids now. Which one of my sons?
Are you doing baskets or
no,
tables?
we just do little bags and have some goodies in it. But I like getting. I remember Taylor, my oldest son, the first time I didn't buy them Valentines, which they're married and they're scattered around. I mean, we're all in Dallas, and he called me out on it and said, "Mom, I didn't get a Valentine from you today." Broke my heart.
Really?
No. Yeah. So
you're still giving them Valentines?
Well, I've kind of stopped with the grown kids, but now it's the grandkids.
Well, I have my significant other, for some reason, is not a chocolate or flower sender, so I usually don't have big gifts, but I do have some things on my list, and I'm not going to get, but I'll just say them anyway. I want an iPad. I want a treadmill that has Netflix on it so that I can continue to watch all the things we love to watch while working out. But I'm taking the high road, and I'm gonna surprise Joel because this is not a he gift. This is more of a we gift. But I ordered y'all. I was watching QVC.
Oh no!
And when you start watching it, you get sucked in. So I am the proud gift giver. I'm giving a Ninja Foodie indoor air grill with a recipe book. And the funny thing is because our grill is broken outside, and I got Joel some AirPod earphones, but the old-fashioned kind because he doesn't like the new adapters. So he got the old-fashioned kind. But the funny thing about this grill, when you look at the picture, is it shows the female loading the dishwasher with the grill, and I'm like, okay,
come on now.
I need something where I can grill inside, but I don't want to load dishwashers anymore. But I thought that was kind of a funny picture, so that's what I'm giving. Haley, how about you? Tell us something more exciting.
So I have a few things. From the girls' perspective, I think.
Oh, you're going to tell us good gift ideas.
Gift ideas versus kind of what guys versus girls, and kind of give you some ideas. For the women's, I was thinking about like a blow dry out just because I always like to go and make sure my hair is done. It'd be nice to kind of go and have it washed and dried for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then athleisure gear is another good,
always a good gift
idea for the women, as
Yes,
well
definitely.
as a wine and cheese board. You can't go wrong with some good wine and cheese.
Now let's just play like we have normal guys listening to this show, and they're like, a wine and cheese what, and a blowout what, and a what's athleisure? Tell the guys that don't know what any of those three things really are.
So right now we just like a blow dry bar. So there's Cherry Dry Bar here in Frisco, and then as well as Tangerine Salon. But if you're looking for just one-stop shop, just as a blow dry, just for the evening, you want to go towards the Cherry Dry Bar because that only does the blowouts, and sometimes I have makeup as well there too. When it comes to
It'd be a nice gift for someone to give their significant other to get all schlicked up for their date that night.
Yes.
Fix their hair, fix their makeup. Got it.
Yes, and then athleisure gear. So we're proud sponsors of Nike, and I actually, even though my boyfriend is listening, I stopped there for him for a little bit. But which is hard for me because his birthday's today. So I'm like, okay, so I have birthday and Valentine's in 1 week. I'm like, okay, so how am I supposed to do this? And so I actually talked to him last time. It's like, what, guys-wise, like what should we think about? Girls think for guys. And he went straight to the Omaha Steaks. He was like,
oh, that's interesting. And see, you can order mail. I have to mail order stuff.
And you can mail order. You can go online and ship it. He actually gave it to my mom as one of her thank you gifts.
And he can use my Ninja food grill.
Yeah, so I had brought that up to him, and he goes, no, I'm going to use a grill outside. I was like, okay, that's fine. And another thing I thought for guys and girls would be the Theragun. Have y'all heard of the Theragun?
Oh, those are the best.
It's the best. It's like a massage gun. There it is on the screen. And the bottle of wine. And so my brother actually gave it to me for Christmas, and it's the best invention ever
it's
for
a
sore
game
muscles.
changer
It's
for
like
recovery.
go in and recover. But going on, I have one more thing to kind of add for couples would be a couples massage or just any type of spa treatment, as well as an experience. My boyfriend's all about the experience. He's like, I'd much rather go spend time and go do something versus give you something that's physical.
Oh, that's nice. That's thoughtful.
So he's always about the experiences and wanting to go
Have y'all
take
been
trips.
through a Valentine's cycle
We
together?
have. We did. So we just finished our 2-year. So we did skiing last year.
Oh, okay. So he's serious about an experience.
Yeah, so he's always about the experience.
Okay, that's awesome. My experience would be just take me to the studio movie grill and watch
Right.
a
I mean,
movie.
that could be it. That could be a ski trip. It could be a movie. It could be any type of like fun
things you can do together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my gift of ideas for guys to girls, girls to guys, and couples for those that want to do something together.
Gina, how about you? You have the most
fun.
memorable Valentine or
Honestly,
any plans?
guys, it's going to be a Galentine's year for Gina this year.
That's the
but I will accept any of those gifts that Haley just talked about. I mean, Theraguns, those are amazing. We get those from our trainer during practice and stuff, and seriously help with recovery. Self-care, spa gifts are amazing to give. Feels so great to just recover from the stress of life and everything. And blow dry bar, big fan of the dry bar as well. It changes your whole day up when you get your hair done for sure. So all those gifts were great ideas. So everyone
here's
tuned
4
in.
women in the room. In your honest opinion, ranking, do you really for Valentine's want flowers? Do you want chocolates? Do you want an experience? Some people can afford a whole trip to skiing, but do you want to go do something like, I don't know, rock climb or whatever it is people do? Or do you want, I've heard dry bar twice. Do you want to go somewhere and have somebody blow your hair dry?
I just want family time. I
just
want to go out to
want
want
an
family to
experience.
grandkids.
I think the
But you want them to
experience
put
with
it
people.
together for you. No?
No, not necessarily. Just let's be together.
I offered up the escape room, and he goes, we're just going to get in there and fight. So that probably would be the best idea. It's like, okay, then maybe massage.
Yeah, something to relax or an experience. A trip is always fun. Just spend time with each other.
We're probably hurting the flower business right now.
I mean, I do
like
flowers.
a good bouquet of flowers.
Chocolates?
I get the big box of chocolates, and
You get the old heart-shaped kind, like the...
Yeah, and I'm the one that goes in and takes a bite of every one and puts them back.
You really do?
That's Trammell, yeah.
You like those chocolates?
Kind of.
Some of them I do, some of them I don't.
I'd rather take Omaha steaks.
Right. I'm like, I'll take the steaks.
Yeah.
Or even an edible arrangement.
Yeah.
So you don't feel too guilty.
So you don't feel, right. And you can get little fruits dipped in chocolate and you don't feel as guilty as the whole piece of
box.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Are you the type? Do you get pissed if Valentine's is not recognized? Is that a landmine that we want to help people avoid?
I don't know. I don't
Do
think
you
I get
notice?
mad.
Do you
I've never not had it. Dick has never not had a card or something for me on Valentine's morning. He
Very
is
traditional in that
thoughtful.
way.
He's really thoughtful.
My mom's the same way. Now that I'm moved out of the house, we'll see what comes on Friday. But usually she's always given us something, so I didn't feel like as left out.
Don't let her not do it finally when you are grown up. Because
I know. I'm like, Mom,
you'll
don't
call
do
her
it.
out like Taylor
Check
called
in
me
with her.
out.
Now I feel real inadequate. I sent my kids Amazon gift cards last year because I thought, that's
That's
Amazon.
very
And then they can
I like that one.
It had
their own
hearts on the artwork,
Oh.
but that was it.
My parents always send me flowers no matter where I am. So all those boys sending flowers, they got to, step it up.
Step it up. All right. Wow. We've covered a lot of things today on Just for Kicks. Thank you, Gina, for coming in. And
Thanks for having me.
Wishing you speediest recovery and preparation moving on.
Awesome.
We've got some movies to catch now. Now we have an assignment list.
Yes.
We do. I have a lot.
And then I think actually we're heading on a retreat together in a couple of days. We're going to New Orleans. We may need to road warrior this together.
We should.
Wow.
Talk about it. Are we going to swamp tours?
I voted for
I
swamp
voted
tour.
swamp tour.
You did?
Yes.
Yes.
Except it's going to be raining. So I guess
know.
we're really
I'm going to bring
be
my
in
poncho, and I just bought overalls just to kind of see if I can fit in and go on a little pontoon boat and
Is that what we're going to need?
Are we going to have costumes?
Oh, no.
I just thought throwing on overalls
I haven't
would be
even
fun.
thought about this.
I haven't thought of. I'm going to have to go pack tonight.
We'll probably be in a pontoon and going around and seeing stuff.
I'm excited.
Speaking of Louisiana, here's one last thing, and then we got to go. You've got to watch on Netflix. You've got to watch this show called The Pharmacist. Ooh.
Oh,
It's in Louisiana, and it's about a father who loses his son, and it involves drugs, but it's in Louisiana, and it is so good. I'm already calling it now. I'm giving it a best documentary. It's heavy, but it's great. So
Did it just come out?
Well, yeah. You know how Netflix is great at promoting their next show, and you just roll into it and into it. I just finished up Taylor Swift's Miss Americana.
I need to see that.
Oh,
it's good
so
too.
good.
Is it good?
Yeah, it gave me a whole different perspective on her and
Me too.
the whole
'cause I wasn't that
pressure of being
big
Taylor
of a
Swift in her
fan.
life. Yeah.
Is it more political?
But now I like her more.
No.
Okay.
She at the end she starts expressing herself. She avoided having any opinions of any sort. And she talks about that, how she had to be Little Miss Perfect her entire career, and then all of a sudden she's like, "No, I have some thoughts," and she seems well spoken about it. But then when I finished it, it rolled you straight into this show called The Pharmacist, and it made me think about Louisiana because we're headed there, and it did show swamps and stuff. But anyway, okay. Well, I think that's it for today. So how about we head off to New Orleans?
Let's do
And
it.
we'll see
Y'all
everybody
enjoy.
next time on Just for Kicks.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?